My brothers and sisters, there are hidden treasures in the simple things God has created. Among these treasures, one of the most underestimated elements is salt. Salt is more than just something to flavor your food. From ancient times, salt has carried deep spiritual symbolism, a sign of preservation, protection, and prosperity. It is a divine element that purifies and repels negativity. In Scripture, salt is often associated with covenants, blessing, and increase. Today, I want to talk to you about placing salt in a sacred place in your home as a symbol of faith, covenant, and divine multiplication. This is not superstition. It is about faith, symbolism, and divine principle. When we act in faith, we activate the power of God to work in our homes. Every home has places that carry spiritual energy, corners where prayers are made, where families gather, where life flows. When we place salt intentionally in these areas with a prayerful heart, we are declaring, Lord, this house belongs to you. No darkness can stay here. No lack can remain here. No evil can enter here. Only blessings and prosperity shall overflow. Salt has always carried a deeper meaning than just being something we sprinkle on our meals. It is an ancient symbol of covenant, purity, and divine connection. When we talk about placing salt in a sacred space of our home, we are not performing a ritual of superstition, but stepping into a spiritual principle that goes back centuries. In many spiritual traditions, especially in biblical contexts, salt was a *** covenant sign between God and his people ***. When God made promises, people used salt as a visible reminder that his word is everlasting. Salt never loses its essence. It preserves, it purifies, and it symbolizes something that endures beyond time. This is why Jesus himself referred to believers as the salt of the earth, meaning carriers of influence, preservation, and purity. When you take salt and dedicate it to God with faith, you are connecting yourself to that ancient symbol of unbreakable covenant. You are saying, Lord, I trust in your promises. I claim your protection, provision, and abundance over my home. It becomes a prophetic act, a physical action tied to a spiritual truth. Salt, by its very nature, does not spoil. It stands firm against decay, and this reflects the nature of divine promises, unshakable, enduring, and powerful. When you place it in your home with this understanding, it serves as a constant reminder that God's blessings over your life cannot be broken by time, fear, or the enemy. The use of salt as a covenant symbol also signifies loyalty and steadfastness. In ancient cultures, sharing salt was a way to seal agreements and establish trust. If people could trust salt to symbolize an agreement, how much more can we trust God when He invites us to use what He created as a sign of His faithfulness? By placing salt in your home, you are not only sealing a spiritual agreement, but also ***, welcoming divine faithfulness and abundance *** into your household. You are creating a space where blessings are not temporary, but anchored in something eternal. Furthermore, salt in covenant language reminds us of ***, divine preservation ***. Just as salt keeps food from decaying, God's covenant preserves His children from lack, destruction, and spiritual decay. When you position salt in a sacred area of your home, whether it's near your entrance, your prayer area, or a space that represents your household, you are declaring that what enters and dwells in your home will be preserved by divine power. No evil shall take root there, no financial curse shall linger, and no spiritual darkness shall prevail. It becomes a shield of faith, a quiet but powerful witness to God's promise to sustain and protect His people. Every time your eyes fall on that simple grain of salt, you are reminded of something far greater than the object itself. You are reminded of God's unshakable word, His everlasting covenant, and His ability to multiply blessings. What looks ordinary in the physical becomes extraordinary in the spiritual realm. This is why salt is not just an ingredient but a *** divine symbol of covenant *** that unlocks the flow of protection, peace, and prosperity into your home when activated by genuine faith. Salt has always carried a deeper meaning than just being something we sprinkle on our meals. It is an ancient symbol of covenant, purity, and divine connection. When we talk about placing salt in a sacred space of our home, we are not performing a ritual of superstition, but stepping into a spiritual principle that goes back centuries. In many spiritual traditions, especially in biblical contexts, salt was a ** covenant sign between God and His people **. When God made promises, people used salt as a visible reminder that His word is everlasting. Salt never loses its essence. It preserves, it purifies, and it symbolizes something that endures beyond time. This is why Jesus Himself referred to believers as the salt of the earth, meaning carriers of influence, preservation, and purity. When you take salt and dedicate it to God with faith, you are connecting yourself to that ancient symbol of unbreakable covenant. You are saying, "Lord, I trust in your promises. I claim your protection, provision, and abundance over my home." It becomes a prophetic act, a physical action tied to a spiritual truth. Salt, by its very nature, does not spoil. It stands firm against decay, and this reflects the nature of divine promises, unshakable, enduring, and powerful. When you place it in your home with this understanding, it serves as a constant reminder that God's blessings over your life cannot be broken by time, fear, or the enemy. The use of salt as a covenant symbol also signifies loyalty and steadfastness. In ancient cultures, sharing salt was a way to seal agreements and establish trust. If people could trust salt to symbolize an agreement, how much more can we trust God when He invites us to use what He created as a sign of His faithfulness? By placing salt in your home, you are not only sealing a spiritual agreement, but also ***, welcoming divine faithfulness and abundance *** into your household. You are creating a space where blessings are not temporary, but anchored in something eternal. Furthermore, salt in covenant language reminds us of *** divine preservation ***. Just as salt keeps food from decaying, God's covenant preserves His children from lack, destruction, and spiritual decay. When you position salt in a sacred area of your home, whether it's near your entrance, your prayer area, or a space that represents your household, you are declaring that what enters and dwells in your home will be preserved by divine power. No evil shall take root there, no financial curse shall linger, and no spiritual darkness shall prevail. It becomes a shield of faith, a quiet but powerful witness to God's promise to sustain and protect His people. Every time your eyes fall on that simple grain of salt, you are reminded of something far greater than the object itself. You are reminded of God's unshakable word, His everlasting covenant, and His ability to multiply blessings. What looks ordinary in the physical becomes extraordinary in the spiritual realm. This is why salt is not just an ingredient, but an **, divine symbol of covenant **, that unlocks the flow of protection, peace, and prosperity into your home when activated by genuine faith. Salt carries within it a quiet yet profound power to purify, cleanse, and protect. For centuries, people across the world have recognized its unique properties, not only in preserving food, but also in preserving spiritual and emotional well-being. When salt is placed in a home with faith and intention, it does more than just sit in a corner. It acts as a **, silent guardian **, absorbing negativity and creating a spiritual barrier that repels destructive forces. It is one of the simplest yet most powerful symbols of purity. In its very nature, salt cannot be corrupted. It resists decay, it holds back rot, and it keeps what is good from being spoiled. This same quality is what makes it such a powerful element when placed in sacred spaces within a home. When a house is filled with unseen negative energy, the atmosphere can feel heavy. People may experience tension, fear, confusion, and even financial stagnation without fully understanding why. It is not always because of visible circumstances, but often because of **, spiritual clutter **, that lingers in the environment. Salt, when used with a prayerful heart, acts as a natural purifier. It does not chase away negativity through force, but **, absorbs it **, neutralizing its effect. This is why many spiritual traditions use salt at entry points, in prayer spaces, or near areas where energy often feels blocked. Its presence shifts the atmosphere from chaotic to peaceful, from heavy to light, from confusion to clarity. The entrance of your home, for example, is more than just a physical doorway. It is a **, spiritual threshold **, where energies from the outside meet the inner environment of your living space. Negative energy can enter through arguments, envy, spiritual attacks, or even simple stress carried by those who walk through. When you place salt near this entrance and cover it with prayer, you are essentially declaring that nothing impure or destructive has the right to cross that line. It becomes a **, spiritual filter **, allowing peace, light, and abundance to enter freely while keeping out what is harmful or draining. Over time, many people notice how the energy of their home feels calmer, warmer, and more peaceful simply because they've established a boundary using something as simple as salt. Another powerful area where salt can bring change is the space where your family gathers most. The energy of family conversations, emotions, laughter, or even disagreements collects in those spaces. If those moments are positive, they create warmth. If they are negative, they can leave behind a residue of emotional heaviness. Placing salt in these common spaces acts like a **, spiritual sponge **, absorbing the negative energy so it does not linger and grow. It clears the air in a way that allows harmony, understanding, and love to thrive again. Many people underestimate how much the atmosphere in a home can affect their mood, health, and even finances. A house filled with negative energy can block blessings, delay breakthroughs, and create unnecessary tension among family members. But when that atmosphere is clean, everything flows more freely. In a spiritual sense, salt represents ***, divine authority over chaos ***. Just as it was used in ancient times to purify altars, preserve offerings, and seal covenants, today it can be used as a reminder that light is stronger than darkness. When you place salt in faith, you are not depending on the substance itself. You are ***, activating a spiritual principle ***. You are declaring that your home is not a place for confusion or lack, but a place for God's presence and peace. Negative energy cannot dwell where faith and purity are established. It is also important to understand that spiritual heaviness can affect financial flow. When negative energy is left unchecked, it can manifest in stagnation, closed doors, unexpected losses, or constant lack. This is why many people notice that after they intentionally cleanse their homes spiritually, whether through prayer, worship, or placing symbolic objects like salt things, begin to shift. Opportunities open up, peace is restored, and blessings seem to flow more naturally. This is not superstition. It is about ***, removing spiritual blockages ***, that silently choke the flow of prosperity. Salt works like a symbolic declaration that ***, poverty, fear, and negativity are no longer welcome ***. When using salt, your intention and words matter. Placing it silently without faith will do little. But when you place it with prayer, speaking declarations like "This house is filled with peace," or "No darkness shall remain here," you are ***, charging the atmosphere with faith ***. Words have power, and when spoken in alignment with divine principles, they shape reality. Salt becomes the physical reminder of that spiritual truth. Over time, the energy in the home aligns with your faith, not your fear. Salt also teaches an important principle of consistency. Just as you may need to clean your home regularly to keep it fresh and livable, ***, spiritual environments require intentional care ***. The simple act of replacing or blessing the salt periodically keeps the energy of your space light and vibrant. You are telling the unseen world, this place belongs to the light. Negativity has no legal ground here. As the spiritual heaviness lifts, clarity returns, ideas flow, relationships heal, and the atmosphere becomes fertile ground for prosperity and blessings to grow. Ultimately, placing salt in your home is more than just an act. It is a declaration. It is claiming spiritual authority over your environment and protecting what God has entrusted to you. It turns your home from a place of chaos into a *** sanctuary of peace ***, from a place of lack into a *** garden of abundance ***, and from a space filled with confusion into a *** dwelling of divine order ***. That is the quiet but extraordinary power of salt used with faith and purpose. Prosperity is not only about hard work, strategy, or opportunities. It is also deeply tied to spiritual alignment. Many people chase wealth through effort alone, but overlook the spiritual atmosphere that either attracts abundance or repels it. When a home is spiritually aligned with divine order, the flow of blessing becomes smoother. Salt, though simple and ordinary, can become a prophetic symbol of that alignment. Its presence in a sacred place of your home is like setting a divine order in motion, a silent yet powerful statement that everything in this space must now align with peace, provision, and growth. It is not about depending on the physical substance itself, but about using it to reflect a spiritual truth. When the environment is right, prosperity flows. Every blessing that comes into a person's life, whether financial, relational, or spiritual, flows through channels. Some of those channels are external, like jobs, opportunities, or networks, but others are internal and environmental. If the atmosphere of your home is chaotic, filled with negativity, or spiritually stagnant, even great opportunities can be delayed or blocked. Imagine trying to plant seeds in hard, dry soil. No matter how good the seeds are, they won't flourish until the ground is prepared. Similarly, a negative or spiritually dull environment can choke the flow of abundance. Placing salt prayerfully in your home is like softening that ground preparing your environment to receive and sustain the blessings that are already meant for you. Salt carries an ancient symbolism of preservation and stability. Prosperity is not just about receiving wealth. It is about being able to sustain and multiply Many people experience temporary blessings. They receive a breakthrough or an opportunity, but it quickly slips away because the atmosphere around them is not aligned to keep and grow it. When salt is placed in a sacred area with faith, it becomes a reminder and a declaration that what enters your home will not be wasted or lost. It will be preserved, multiplied, and used wisely. Prosperity is drawn to order, and salt represents that divine order. Spiritual alignment also means clearing away what blocks the flow of blessings. Negative emotions, fear, bitterness, constant worry, or unspoken stress can create spiritual clutter that repels abundance. When you use salt in faith, you are not just decorating a corner. You are saying to the unseen realm, this space is set apart for peace and prosperity. This is holy ground. As that intention fills the environment, it begins to shape the way your home feels and the way you respond to life. When your surroundings carry a spirit of calm, faith, and expectancy, opportunities tend to find their way to you more easily because your energy and spirit are aligned to receive. Financial breakthroughs often require not just action, but also an open spiritual atmosphere ***. A home aligned with divine peace becomes a *** magnet for favor ***. Ideas flow more freely, courage to take bold steps increases, and unexpected help shows up. This is why some people who pray, declare blessings, and keep their homes spiritually clean seem to walk through doors that others struggle to find. It is not luck, it is alignment. Salt acts as a physical symbol of this alignment, a reminder that your home is not a space of confusion but of clarity, not of scarcity but of abundance. When salt is placed with faith, it also acts as a *** boundary setter ***. Prosperity does not thrive in places where fear, envy, or spiritual chaos dominate. Just as a clean river flows freely and a blocked one overflows with stagnation, blessings flow best where there is a *** spiritual current of order and peace ***. Salt represents this boundary. It silently declares, only what is meant to bless and prosper may enter here. Over time, your home becomes an environment where blessings don't just visit temporarily. They stay, multiply, and overflow into every area of your life. Salt also strengthens the ** mindset of abundance ***. When you look at it in your sacred space, it becomes a personal reminder that prosperity is not random. It is built, preserved, and nurtured through intention and faith. It helps you maintain a consciousness of divine provision, encouraging you to think bigger, act with confidence, and expect results. A person whose spirit is aligned with prosperity attracts it, not through desperation, but through quiet authority and faith. The environment you live in can either push your blessings away or welcome them with open doors. That is why spiritually charged environments often produce peaceful hearts, creative minds, and bold actions. Salt plays a small but meaningful role in creating that environment. Its symbolism of purity, preservation, and divine order aligns perfectly with the spiritual foundation required for lasting prosperity. When your home carries this alignment, your financial flow doesn't just depend on external sources. It becomes a ** river that runs through you and around you ***. You begin to recognize opportunities faster, make wiser decisions, and experience a sense of calm trust instead of anxious striving. Prosperity flows more easily in places where God's order is honored. Salt in its quiet, humble form becomes a key in unlocking that order, transforming your home into a ** place where abundance is not chased but welcomed ***. It is not the act itself that brings money, it is the spiritual state it represents. By placing salt with the right heart, prayer, and intention, you are aligning your home with heaven's flow. And where alignment exists, prosperity follows naturally, steadily, and powerfully. The true power behind placing salt in a sacred space of your home is not in the salt itself. It is in the faith and spiritual intention you release when you do it. Many people misunderstand spiritual acts and focus too much on the object instead of the force that activates it. Salt on its own is just a substance, but when it is used with sincere belief, prayer, and declaration, it becomes a ** symbol of faith ***. And faith is what moves mountains. This is the difference between superstition and divine principle. Superstition believes the object has power. Divine faith knows that the power comes from God, and the object is just a point of contact for that power to be expressed. Throughout history and scripture, we see how ordinary things became extraordinary when faith was applied. A staff in Moses' hand parted the Red Sea, not because the wood was powerful, but because faith activated God's intervention. Oil in the hands of the prophets became a vessel for healing, not because of the oil itself, but because God honored the faith behind it. In the same way, When you place salt in your home with prayer, you are declaring with your heart and voice, God, I trust you to protect, to provide, and to prosper this house. The act becomes a ** spiritual statement ** that your home belongs to God, that no darkness or lack has any legal right to dwell there, and that blessing has a rightful place. Faith has always been the key that unlocks spiritual reality. Without it, even the most sacred object is powerless. You can place salt in every corner of your house, but if your heart is filled with fear, doubt, or hopelessness, nothing shifts. But if you place even a small amount of salt with genuine belief, things begin to move in the unseen. Faith speaks louder than objects. It is your belief that invites divine favor, opens doors, and creates spiritual protection around your household. That is why the intention behind your action matters so much more than the action itself. When you place salt in your home, speak words of faith over it. Declare that it represents purity, abundance, and divine covering. Declare that it stands as a prophetic sign that God's presence is established in that space. Speak blessing over your family, your finances, your health, and your future. Words are powerful spiritual forces. When aligned with faith, they create reality. Salt becomes a visible reminder of those declarations, a point of agreement between your faith and heaven's power. Even when you don't see immediate results, your faith has already set something in motion in the unseen realm. Many people perform rituals mechanically, expecting instant results without understanding that faith works through **, patience, consistency, and conviction **. Faith is not a switch you turn on and off. It is a living force. When you place salt in your home and believe, you are planting a spiritual seed. That seed may begin to grow quietly at first, changing the atmosphere, removing blockages, and opening doors step by step. If you waver in faith or doubt its significance, you weaken its impact. But if you stay firm, speak over it daily, and walk in expectation, your environment will begin to reflect your belief. Faith also shifts your mindset. Instead of seeing your home as just four walls, you begin to see it as a sanctuary, an altar of divine protection and prosperity. This mindset invites peace instead of worry, abundance instead of lack, and courage instead of fear. A person of faith walks differently. They speak with authority, make decisions with clarity, and live with a sense of security that cannot be shaken. This is the deeper reason why spiritual acts work. When faith is present, they transform not just the atmosphere, but also the heart of the person who believes. Faith removes the pressure of trying to control outcomes through human effort alone. It allows you to rest in the assurance that what you have declared will come to pass in its perfect time. The salt becomes a daily visual anchor for your faith, a small but powerful reminder that God is working even when you cannot see it. In moments of doubt, when worries about money or life try to creep in, simply looking at that salt can stir your faith again. It reminds you of the covenant you've spoken over your home and the protection that surrounds it. Faith is also contagious. When your family sees you act in faith, it can inspire them to believe too. It can shift the spiritual culture of your entire household. Instead of an environment filled with fear and lack, it becomes a home filled with expectation, peace, and blessing. The atmosphere of faith opens the door for miracles to happen, not because of the salt, but because of the power of agreement between your faith and divine promise. The salt is just a tool, but faith is the force. If the tool is used without the force, it's empty. But when faith flows through it, that tool becomes a vessel of transformation. This is why when you place salt in your home, do it with a full heart, with spoken declaration, and with unwavering belief. This act will not only set the spiritual atmosphere of your home, but also strengthen your personal faith walk, aligning everything in your environment to the blessings that are already assigned to your life. Speaking blessings over your home is one of the most powerful spiritual actions you can take, and when combined with a prophetic symbol like salt, it can shift the entire atmosphere of your environment. Words are not empty, they carry weight, they shape reality, and they either build or break. When you speak words of faith, abundance, and divine protection into your home, you are planting spiritual seeds in the unseen realm. Just as negative words can create heaviness, fear, and lack, positive declarations inspired by faith can establish peace, prosperity, and favor. This is why the act of placing salt must be accompanied by spoken blessings, because the true power is released through what you say. Your home responds to your voice more than you realize. Every corner of your house absorbs the energy of the words spoken within it. If your environment constantly hears words of lack, fear, and defeat, it will reflect that energy back. But when your home is filled with declarations like "This place is blessed," "Peace lives here," "Prosperity flows here," the spiritual climate begins to shift. Speaking blessings isn't just an exercise in positivity, it's a deliberate spiritual strategy. When you declare something in faith, you're partnering with divine power to make that reality manifest. Salt serves as a physical reminder of these blessings, anchoring your spoken words into your environment. When placing salt in a sacred spot in your home, speak out loud what you desire to see. If you want financial abundance, say it clearly. This home attracts wealth, not worry. Opportunities flow through this place. If you want peace, declare it boldly. This house is a refuge of calm and protection. No evil will enter here. If you want growth, speak it with conviction. Blessing multiplies in this house. Every corner overflows with favor. These are not just nice phrases, they are spiritual commands. When your faith is behind your words, heaven responds. Declarations also shape your mindset. When you continuously speak blessings over your home, you begin to see it as a sacred space, a place where good things happen, where prayers are answered, where favor is expected. This changes how you live, how you feel, and how you make decisions. A person who speaks blessings does not walk in fear. They walk in confidence because their words align with divine truth. Salt reinforces that mindset. Each time you see it in that sacred place, it reminds you to keep speaking life and abundance, even when circumstances look difficult. One of the reasons many people fail to experience breakthroughs is because they unintentionally speak against their own blessings. They say things like, "We never have enough," "This house is full of problems," or "Nothing ever changes." Words like these don't just express frustration, they establish spiritual limitations. But when you reverse that pattern and speak blessings consistently, you start tearing down those invisible barriers. Your declarations become like spiritual keys that unlock doors previously shut. The beauty of speaking blessings is that it doesn't require wealth, status, or special abilities. It only requires faith and intention. You don't have to shout. Even a calm, firm declaration carries power when it comes from a heart of belief. And when paired with an act of faith, like placing salt, those words gain even more spiritual weight. You're not just hoping things will change. You are authorizing that change with your words. Over time, as your declarations fill the air of your home, you will begin to notice subtle shifts. The atmosphere will feel lighter. Worries that once filled the space will begin to fade. Your home will start to feel like a safe haven again, a place where peace, favor, and prosperity dwell. People who enter may even comment that your home feels calm or different. That is not a coincidence. It's the fruit of the words you've spoken and the faith you've established. Speaking blessings also trains your spirit to see possibilities instead of problems. When challenges arise, instead of being overwhelmed, you'll speak solutions. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you'll declare what's coming. You will begin to shape your reality before it manifests. Salt, sitting quietly in that sacred space, serves as a silent witness to your faith-filled words. It's a constant reminder that your environment is under divine authority. Family members, too, are affected by the words spoken in a home. If you consistently speak blessings, it creates an environment where your children, spouse, or loved ones feel safe, uplifted, and hopeful. This shared atmosphere of faith can open doors to collective breakthroughs, whether in health, finances, or relationships. A house filled with blessing becomes a well of strength for everyone who lives there. Ultimately, your words are the building blocks of your environment. When you combine them with a prophetic act like placing salt, you are not performing a ritual but engaging in spiritual architecture. You are designing the future of your household with your faith. When blessings are spoken over a home, they don't just float away, they settle in. They grow roots. They shape what happens within those walls. No matter what your current situation looks like, your words have the power to change the atmosphere. Even if there is lack, fear, or heaviness, it can be transformed when you decide to speak blessings daily. Every declaration you make is a step toward creating a home that radiates abundance and divine protection. Salt, in its stillness, carries your declarations like a banner, standing as a quiet witness to your faith. Through your words, your home can become a place where blessings do not visit occasionally, they live there permanently.